Beast Gohan is coming to Dokkan is what we've been thinking for like 6 months now. But it's actually finally happening. Hopefully. More on that in just a moment. This is what we know right now about Beast Gohan coming to Dokkan. When the next superhero collab happens, it should be on Global and JP at the same time, or nearly the same time. The Cell Max event released on the same day. The Gamma's released on both versions within a week of each other, so whatever is next should happen either at the exact same time or very close together. Now, we do know another superhero collab is happening for 2 reasons. Dokkan announced a part 3 of the superhero collab for Global Dokkan and a part 4 for the superhero collab for JP Dokkan back when the Gamma's released. Now, if you're confused why one was part 3 and one was part 4, they've had the same amount of content, just the free-to-play Gohan released earlier on JP coincide with the release of the movie in Japan, since it came out earlier in Japan, and that Gohan released alone for part 1 on JP, whereas on Global, the free-to-play Gohan released with the Cell Max event as Global's part 1, and on JP, the Cell Max event technically was treated as the part 2 collab for superhero on JP Dokkan, which would then make the Gammas the part 2 collab on Global, but then also the part 3 collab on JP. And all I'm trying to get here is that basically Global hasn't missed out on anything, so don't think just because there are different parts, JP has more content than Global has. No, it's all the same, just a little confusing. Now, the other reason is that Jump Festa is happening this weekend, and the live stream for Bandai Namco's Dokkan and Legends broadcast is already up, and under the tags for the video, you can clearly see this one right here is in Japanese, but it says it's the movie collab part 4. So whatever they're revealing during this stream should be the part 4 of the superhero Dokkan collab. Also, in case you're wondering about when the stream will be, it's on December 16th at 10:30 Eastern or 7:30 Pacific. So, okay, cool. We're getting another superhero collab. We know that's coming. But when is it going to actually release? We can actually figure that out by taking a look at what they've done before. So we go all the way back to New Year's 2018, the last massive movie collab that we've had with Dragon Ball Super Broly. The Super Saiyan Gogeta that transformed into Gogeta Blue, as well as the actual Super Saiyan Broly from the new film, released on the 26th of December in 2018. Then when we fast forward to 2019, the transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Majin Vegeta released also on December 26th of 2019. Then in 2020, we got the Pikkon that had the Gogeta super attack, because they obviously knew Pikkon by himself probably wouldn't sell well, as well as the transforming Janemba that released on December 28th of 2020. And then last year, we got yet another transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku, as well as a Kid Buu that also released on the 28th of December in 2021. Now, just beyond looking at past dates and knowing that it should release sometime around the 26th through the 28th, we actually have even more concrete evidence that it should release on the 28th yet again this year by taking a look at the end dates on the Elder Kai summons that are live right now on Global, as well as the Stone Cells. So the Stone Cells end on reset on the 27th, and the Elder Kai summon goes away on the 28th at 12:29 a.m., which means the new superhero collab should start at 12:30 a.m. on the 28th. There's other events on JP that are also ending on the 28th around the same time, so I won't really dive into all of that, but just know we're pointing to a December 28th release for whatever they're going to show for this new superhero collab. And as I mentioned, and you may have noticed during the breakdown of everything that released previously, this is a dual Dokkan Fest time slot. So whatever it is they're going to show off on Friday, we should be expecting 2 headlining units from Dragon Ball Super Superhero. But what are those 2 units going to be? Obviously, as I literally started this video saying his name, we all want Beast Gohan, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he will be here during this collab, unfortunately, because if you look at the landscape of just the sheer amount of characters Dokkan could create from superhero that we still do not have, there is surprisingly a lot of options here. Let's list them. We've got Ultimate Piccolo, or as Legends is calling it, Power Awakening Piccolo. It's his form where he loses his lines and becomes a kind of different shade of yellow. I actually really like the look of this form a lot, and as I just mentioned, it's actually one of the characters that Legends released as part of its superhero collab. Then we've got Pan. This is a pretty obvious one and most likely will be a side banner unit, but if Legends taught us anything, she has the potential to be absolutely cracked. If you aren't familiar at all with her in Legends, just know that she is one of the craziest kids we've ever seen and is going to be a problem for quite a while. Definitely not something a lot of us were expecting for sure. And I know I said side banner unit, but if Dokkan in 2022 has taught us anything, it's that literally any character in Dragon Ball can get a Dokkan Festival exclusive now. So do not at all count out a superhero pen as being one of these headlining units. Cell Max. Listen, I know a lot of people don't think he can be a card, but I think that's just insane. He's literally the latest villain from a Dragon Ball movie, and everyone wants to reference his size as to why he couldn't have a character in this game, but Janemba is right there. And I know this is like the massive argument that everyone uses, but Janemba is huge, and yet he is a normal card in Dokkan. Plus, Cell Max is already a boss in the game with a ton of assets, animated super attacks that, while are a bit short, still look really good. So I fully believe that if he's not part of this collab that we're getting right here, right now, Cell Max will eventually be an actual playable character in Dokkan at some point in the near future. I think it just makes sense. Like, Cell Max to be a card in this freaking game, dude. Come on. Now, one we're missing that, but I do think this would be too soon, is the pin ultimate moment for Gamma 2. They obviously very clearly and strategically left that out from the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 that have already released, so they could easily create an exchange unit like the Intelligence Vegeta and Goku, but using Gamma 2 and Gamma 1. Now, I personally think this would be sick as an LR later down the line, but I'm just here to list the potential stuff we're missing in the game right now that could be headlining type of units for Dokkan Fest. Orange Piccolo. This is definitely one of the most obvious ones here, and I would actually probably put him as my second pick for who I would want coming in this dual Dokkan Fest. There's a lot they could do with him, like a transformation from Power Awakened into Orange, perhaps some sort of revival, since technically he's like falling down into that pit and then he comes back up as Orange Piccolo, so that would look really cool as a revival type unit. And also, they could just straight up make him Orange Piccolo without any transformation. I think there's definitely a lot of options here when it comes to like debuting this character in Dokkan. So I think everything's on the table here for a potential Orange Piccolo during this New Year celebration. And Ultimate Gohan. Surprisingly, a form that we still don't have that many of in this game. We're coming up on the 8th anniversary, and this is all we have for one of the most iconic forms in the entire series, in my opinion. He could go from Super Saiyan into Ultimate Gohan, and that could be the Gohan DFE for this collab. Like, I would hate for that to be the case, but it could. Or what we're all hoping for, he could start out as an Ultimate Gohan and have a transformation into Beast Gohan. I think this is the most likely case for Beast Gohan in Dokkan right now. I do think at some point Beast Gohan will be a standalone card with no transformation, but my guess is that if Beast is here in this specific superhero collab, he'll go Beast through a transformation for sure, and I'm definitely okay with that, because whether it's an intro or an active skill transformation, I have got to see that insane moment of him becoming Beast Gohan in Dokkan. However, if it is a transformation, for the love of everything, please make it easy to obtain and just perfect. Just mwah. We don't need another Super Saiyan 2 Gohan incident. And you're like, Nano, what Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? Exactly. Now, the biggest argument for Beast Gohan being here during this specific collab, first off, it's freaking Beast Gohan. It's New Year's, it's dual Dokkan Fest, it's Beast Gohan, dude. What is happening? Okay, why is he not in the game already anyway? But it's the fact that Legends already has him. I have a hard time believing Dokkan is going to do another collab and not include the man himself, Beast Gohan, especially since this is the last sort of normal release JP Dokkan will get until March, because at the end of January is JP Dokkan's 8th anniversary. So if Beast Gohan is missing from this collab, he likely won't show up until sometime in March or even later than that, which just would seem insane to me. That would be approaching an entire year of the movie being out in Japan and still no Beast Gohan in Dokkan. I just don't think they would do that. Now, some other notable characters that I didn't mention here that could be free to play or of course side banner units would be Dr. Hito, Magenta, Goku, Vegeta, or Broly. I don't think any of these characters I just mentioned, obviously Goku, Vegeta, and Broly could easily be DFEs, but not really them specifically from Superhero. But I do think it would make sense for some of these characters, if not all of them, to show up in some form, like I mentioned, whether it be side banner unit or free to play from some sort of new superhero event. And also worth noting that this Gohan we've been sitting on for months now should awaken during this collab as well. This seems like the perfect time to do it, and I think it'd be very weird to leave him in his current state for much longer, and he very clearly has an awakening coming at some point. So stay tapped into the channel for when the live stream happens. We'll be reacting to it, breaking it down, all that fun stuff. That's my theory. Bye.